So after the release of the AMD 4000 series, I was looking back and I was curious to see if there was a new version of the MSI Alpha 15. So it turns out there actually is. The Bravo 15. Which this particular one's sporting 4000 chip, be it a 4800H or a 4600H, paired with an RX 5500M. Which has definitely got me excited for the potential that this machine could have. Especially with it, when it was originally announced with the Alpha, which I'll bring up now, the Alpha itself, the specs on paper seemed to be really good. It had the same chassis as the MSI GL65, which was a pretty decent value for money gaming machine. Probably one of my favorite ones in recent years. Did have a bit of an overly gamer look to it. And this particular one, the Alpha 15, was fairly disappointing in the regards of processor. So this one came out, still had the RX 5500M, great, but it had either a Ryzen 5 or a Ryzen 7 3000 series, which those ones were reasonably underpowered, especially when the Ryzen 7 3750H had less power than an Intel i5 9300H. So a top of the line AMD versus mid-range Intel, and the Intel was single core performance outperforming the Ryzen. And if we have a look here as well, is the weight. Most of these are around 2.3 kilos. If we go back to the Bravo itself and look under configurations, they are also a lighter machine, which, strangely, this one's in pounds. Actually, not strangely, it's a US site, but that converts to around about 1.8, 1.9 kilos, so it is physically a lighter machine, which is another thing I'm definitely looking forward to. The change of that appearance has gone for a brushed metal look, slightly less gamery. I'm curious to see how it will look firsthand, but right now I'm pretty excited for it. The back cover of it, if we have a look here, we see a lot less ventilation compared to the Alpha, which I'll just load up both of those. And sadly, we don't have a photo of that on the MSI site. Show more pictures, MSI. Here we go, right here on the right hand side. If I can bring that up. Nope. So as you see, the Alpha 15 has a lot more ventilation, or a lot more mesh, compared to the Bravo. But let's forget about that for the minute. The other thing that I'm curious to see with this as well is battery life. According to the overview, where did I see it? Right here. They believe that it had about 7 hours of battery life. I'm curious on how true that actually is. It does make me excited that it believes there's 7 hours, or super battery mode, whatever that is, on the 120 Hertz. I'm assuming, I would believe it almost dropped down to 60 Hertz for that. But we'll leave them with their claim of 7 hours. If it gets over 4 hours, I'd be happy myself. But comparing the two Alpha and the Bravo, so on here, we've got the 3750H versus the Ryzen 5 4600H. As you can see, we get 2 extra cores on the Ryzen 5. If you get the Ryzen 7 4800H, you will have 8 cores, higher base clock, similar turbo, more cache. Strangely, even though the Alpha was listed as being a 7nm machine, it's a bit of a lie. It's a 12nm machine. Now it's a true 7 and 7. The other thing that's got me excited about it was that the Alpha was a bit underpowered processor-wise for the GPU. Now I'm finding it a lot more even, and I'm curious to see how this will go in games. So the RX 5500M, I would find that would probably fall a bit higher than the 1650 Ti. It would fall in between there and the 1660 Ti. So hopefully price-wise, it will fall into a fairly... I'm expecting to see it hopefully less than 1500 AUD or around 900 US. But time will tell where it will actually fall. If I could pick one of these up for around about $1,300 as the Ryzen 5 and the 8GB of RAM. So if we have a look here, I'll be looking at the Bravo 15022. Smack bang in the middle. 8GB of RAM, 3200 megahertz, Ryzen 5. The rest of the machine does not really change at all. I would have assumed that there'd be an option for a higher cell, a 4-cell battery, but this particular one doesn't. But yeah, time will tell, and history will show how well this machine will truly go. I hope this particular one, as a budget AMD only gaming machine, does pick up a lot more traction compared to where the Alpha did. Where the Alpha was kind of a wet fart that happened after the full release of the GL65 with the Intel chip. 6 months later, they've pumped out an AMD version, where now this Bravo seems to be full AMD, full power. So, very exciting. I'm definitely keen, and I'll let you guys know in the future if I do get one. If I do, I'll be definitely checking it out for a review. Anyway, that will do for today, and I'll catch you later. Bye.